Imagine walking into a hospital for a routine checkup. Just a normal day, right? You get your test done, you go home, and you expect a clean bill of health. But for our quirky glasses-wearing heroine, Prang, her test results deliver a bombshell that completely shatters her reality. She looks at the paper, her eyes widening behind her thick frames. The diagnosis? Pregnant. Wait, hold on. Rewind. Pregnant. Prang is standing there, absolutely paralyzed with shock. How is this physically possible? She hasn't been intimate with anyone in over a year. She's single. She's focused on her life. And she definitely hasn't been sneaking around. She frantically calls her boyfriend Nut, demanding to see him immediately. She needs answers, and she needs them now. But to understand this absolute madness, we have to go back a few weeks. Let's look at the hospital. Meet our doctor, who looks like she hasn't slept since 2015. She is yawning, barely able to keep her eyes open, practically sleepwalking through her shift. In the waiting room is a glamorous, high-maintenance woman draped in designer clothes. This is the girlfriend of Gaween, a ruthless, billionaire CEO. She is supposed to be getting an IVF treatment today with Gaween's sample. But is she paying attention? Of course not. She's too busy pacing the hallway, yelling into her phone about some VIP drama. So, when the exhausted doctor calls the next patient in, who walks through the door? Prang. Just there for a standard exam. The doctor, completely running on autopilot and blinded by exhaustion, grabs the wrong file, the wrong syringe, and, well, you can guess the rest. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in a medical mix-up of epic proportions, our innocent, confused Prang was accidentally implanted with the billionaire CEO's heir. And the worst part, she has absolutely no idea. Asterisk fast forward to the present. Prang, armed with this impossible pregnancy test, is hyperventilating. She tracks down her boyfriend Nut at a beautiful scenic lakeside park. But the timing is a complete disaster. Nut is standing there in a tailored suit, holding a bouquet of flowers, surrounded by their cheering friends holding up "Will you marry me?" signs. It's a surprise proposal. Any other girl would be crying tears of joy. But Prang? She is sweating bullets. Nut gets down on one knee, pulls out a velvet box and smiles. But Prang panics. She blurts out the only thing on her mind. "I can't marry you. I'm pregnant." The entire park goes dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Nut's smile instantly vanishes, replaced by pure, unadulterated rage. He stands up, his face twisting into a nasty sneer. Instead of asking questions or showing any concern, he immediately goes on the offensive. He publicly humiliates her right there on the grass. He screams at her, accusing her of sleeping around, calling her names, and completely destroying her character in front of everyone they know. He dumps her on the spot, leaving her humiliated and heartbroken. But wait, the drama is just getting started. Watching this entire train wreck from a few yards away, Lounging in a designer chair with his signature dark sunglasses is Gaween, the billionaire CEO himself. He watches nuts scream at prey, and something in him snaps. He doesn't just sit there, he steps in. Gaween confronts Nut, radiating that terrifying, untouchable boss energy. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Nut tries to act tough, but let's be real. He's no match for a guy who buys companies for breakfast or asterisk now. You might be wondering, why does this billionaire care about a random girl getting dumped in a park? Well, plot twist. This isn't the first time Gaween and Prey have crossed paths. Let's take a trip down memory lane. 3 years ago. The setting isn't a luxury boardroom. It's a gritty, sweaty, underground Muay Thai boxing gym. Gaween is in the ring, shirtless, muscles gleaming, fighting a brutal opponent. But this isn't a fair fight. The other guy's playing dirty, landing illegal blows, trying to permanently injure Gaween. Gaween is taking a massive beating, bloodied and pushed to the limit. And who is standing in the crowd, holding a mop and a bucket? Prang. She was just a part-time cleaner back then. But seeing this injustice, she doesn't just stand by. While everyone else is cheering for the bloodbath, Prang fearlessly pushes through the aggressive crowd, grabs the ring bell and rings it with all her might, stopping the fight and saving Gaween from a potentially fatal blow. She even jumps into the ring to shield him. Gaween, bruised and breathless, looks up at this quirky girl with thick glasses. He never forgot her face. She was his savior. And now, 3 years later, she is carrying his child. Talk about fate working in mysterious ways. Asterisk back in the present, the truth finally comes out. The hospital realizes their catastrophic mistake. And guess who finds out first? Gaween's mother. Now, this woman is the definition of extra. Draped in hot pink Chanel, dripping in pearls. She is a force of nature. When she hears that a random girl is carrying her grandchild, she doesn't sue the hospital, she is absolutely thrilled. She has been begging Gaween for an heir. And now, boom, miracle baby. She storms into the hospital, finds Prang, and immediately starts treating her like royalty. She grabs Prang's hands and declares, "You two are getting married." Gaween is standing there, rubbing his temples, completely stressed out. He's a businessman. He likes control. This situation is the opposite of control. He tries to handle it the only way he knows how, with money. He thinks he can just write Prang a massive check, buy her silence, and take the baby when it's born. But Prang? She is not your average gold digger. She looks at this arrogant billionaire, looks at his money, and flat out refuses. She doesn't want his charity. She wants to work. She demands a job at his company to support herself and her baby on her own terms. Gaween, completely baffled by a woman who says no to his wealth, reluctantly agrees. Asterisk welcome to Prang's first day as the personal secretary to the CEO. And let me tell you, it is pure comedy gold. Galene is conducting interviews for a new assistant, and Prang is sitting right there, taking notes. But the candidates? They are out of their minds. Candidate number 1 walks in wearing a skin-tight, bright red clubbing dress, practically throwing herself onto Galene's desk. Candidate number 2 is in a sheer black lace outfit, doing a literal dance routine in the middle of the boardroom. Galene sits there, sipping his tea, looking completely unfazed, while Prang is watching this circus with her jaw on the floor. She's thinking, what kind of company is this? She quickly realizes that protecting this billionaire from these wild women is going to be a full-time job in itself. But the comedy quickly turns into a thriller. Later that day, Prang is walking outside the office building, minding her own business. Suddenly, a woman steps into her path. But this isn't just any woman. She is heavily disguised, wearing a massive silk headscarf wrapped around her face and giant bug-eyed yellow sunglasses. She looks like a spy from a 1960s movie. It's Galene's ex-girlfriend, the one who was supposed to get pregnant in the first place. She corners Prang and gets straight to the point. She pulls out her phone and offers Prang a staggering 1 million baht. "Sell me the baby," she demands. When Prang looks at her like she's crazy, the woman doubles it. 2 million. "Take the money and disappear." Prang stands her ground. She clutches her stomach, her maternal instincts kicking in. She looks this disguised woman dead in the eye and refuses. "I'm not selling my child," she says fiercely. The ex-girlfriend is furious, realizing that this quirky, glasses-wearing girl is not going to be bullied. As the video ends, the tension is at an all-time high. Prang is no longer just an accidental surrogate. She is a fierce protector. She's got a toxic ex-boyfriend out for revenge, a billionaire boss who doesn't know how to handle her, a fabulous mother-in-law planning a wedding, and a crazy ex-girlfriend trying to buy her baby on the black market. How is she going to survive this absolute roller coaster? You'll have to stay tuned to find out.